Okay. I live in Taipei, which is the capital in Taiwan. Taipei is a really convenient city. There are not only public transportation, such as MRT or different kinds of bus lines, but also um, there are some different kinds of infrastructure construction. So the um, like like the um, like the roads, pedestrian, and some swimming pool and nightclub, which really enriches my life in Taipei. Whoa. I remember the job in Taipei. People always did like the businessman and teacher, because my dad is a businessman. He always wake up very early and go back very late to deal with a lot of clients. And in terms of my mom, she's a teacher, and a lot of people like her go to school and teach students. And because lots of students in Taipei, so in Taipei, it's really needed a lot of teachers in it. Well, from my perspective, people in Taipei always go to go to the gym or go to internet cafe. Take adults for example, because they have to make efforts on the work. They have they may have uh, little time to exercise. So when they have free time, they tend to go to the gym to do the workout and go jogging to strengthen their bodies. While about while in terms of the adolescents, because they want to relieve their pressure, they tend to go to some internet cafe to play the computer games and get along with their friends. Can you repeat the question again, teacher? Oh, well, from my perspective, to be honest, Taipei changed just a little, I think. The most obvious part is the public transportation. Um, like MRT, there are different lines has been constructed, like Tamsui line. Tamsui Beito line is really convenient, which can take everyone from the city center to the countryside. And there are some buses lines, because in the past we don't have so many different lines that can take us to distinct destinations. However, because of the government uh, spent a lot of money on this infrastructure, so um, citizens now can make good use of it to go to anywhere they want to go. Okay. Okay. With regard to this question, I will share with you that this special occasion was in my good friend Derek's home, and we have a really good feast with some of my college classmates. Well, we have this occasion and party is because they want to let me prepare for the date I will go to the military service. Because in Taiwan, we have all the teenagers, we have to perform our military service. And in this kind of place, we'll lose our freedom and have to imprison in the barrack. So they hold this party with meals to encourage me. And in this meal, we have some pizza and steak and some sushi to just um, satisfy our appetite. And we also drink a lot of alcohol, such as whiskey and beer that really pleased us. With regard and regarding why this meal is really enjoyable and very pleasing. First, it's because very I feel very moved and touched because they are willing to spend time accompanying me to face the difficulties I will have tomorrow. And I feel I'm not lonely. Someone is with me. And besides, I felt that um, the the activities is really exciting because we not only just eat food, we also sing a song in direct home and chat and discuss. Understood? Can you repeat again, teacher? Consists of. From my perspective, a healthy food maybe can be composed of like vegetables and mm, with just um, with just some sauce without any meat such as pork or beef because first vegetables is beneficial to our health. There are some vitamin D in it, and it can prevent us from having like Alzheimer, this kind of sickness. And besides, the meat and beef, this meat will um, will have bad impact on our blood circulation. And take my grandpa for examples, because when he was maybe about 30 years old, he drank a lot. He drank a lot of alcohol and he eat a lot of meat and without any vegetables. Now, he's understood. Okay, understood. From my perspective, um, Taiwanese um, take preferred having fast food because all of them are really busy at their work. Sometimes they don't have time to have meal. They have to sacrifice their precious time to keep working. So fast food certainly indeed plays a pivotal role in their daily life, in their daily lives. They have to use it to save time and maybe uh, keep working and um, eating in the same time. Well, that's a very challenging question because just a student. Well, from my viewpoint, what we can do is first we can donate what we have to this kind of to the poor people in different countries, because sometimes we teenagers will spend a lot of money on drinking on different drinks and like the pre milk, and it's not an indispensable expense. So if we can save this money and donate to other people, maybe they can have good meals for it. And besides, maybe we can get together and tell our government to to send more food to other countries, because I know not only our government but also like other governments, because maybe in like I know in America there are too much food in their country. So if they can let the food be distribute evenly to other countries, it will be beneficial. Teacher, I want to make sure. Can you repeat again? Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, in my opinion, countries which is really affluent, is definitely should help the poor country, and they can give them not only food but also labor force. Uh, Take for example, um, in Taiwan, a lot of students, um, maybe I would say that they are not busy. They have a lot of free time and they don't know what to do. Maybe the government can send them to the poor country to help them, maybe construct the homes, construct the house, or help the people to learn, to instill them some knowledge, because I know in some poor countries, students there maybe lack of the chance to be educated. Therefore, in Taiwan, our students always receive a higher level of education. Maybe they can help them, and they can also be the volunteer to help them to fix the home, because in some countries such as India or or Philippines, they always face some disasters such as typhoons. So we can help them to be the volunteer to help them fix the house and construction.
All right, so here's test 5, part 1, your town. And the first question is, what is the first question? Can you describe your town or village?
Okay. I live in Taipei, which is the capital in Taiwan. Taipei is a really convenient.
Capital of.
The capital in Taiwan. Taipei is a really convenient city. There are not only public transportation such as MRT or different kinds of bus lines, but also there are some different kinds of infrastructure construction. So
Okay. So he's using the word infrastructure, but then he's saying infrastructure construction. Not sure what that is.
sure, construction. So like
Ah.
like the roads, pedestrians, and
Even if this was road, he said roads, but even if this is road, what is road pedestrian?
some swimming pool and nightclub.
Some swimming pools and nightclubs.
Which really enriches my life in Taipei.
There was some good vocabulary. I mean, enriches. Maybe not nightclub so much. Pedestrian, yeah. But a lot of inappropriacies. What jobs? You know what? I want to get rid of. Hang on a second. Let's get rid of this number. Is there a number here? No. Alright. That makes more sense. The questions aren't supposed to be numbered. What jobs do people in your town do? I mean, if you live in a big city, this is kind of an absurd question because people do such a wide variety of jobs. It's difficult to pin down what people do.
Whoa. I remember the job in Taipei. People always.
Now, hang on a second. This person lives in Taipei, but yet they pronounce it as Taipei. And why does he remember this? Isn't this just something you know?
People always said like the businessman and teacher, because
People don't do businessmen. Well, I guess some people do. But people are businessmen and teachers.
my dad is a businessman. He always wake up very early
Wakes.
and go back very late
Goes.
to deal with a lot of clients. And in
Clients is good.
terms of my mom,
In terms of my mom, it's kind of weird to say that.
she's a teacher, and a lot of people like her go to school and teach students. And because lots of students in Taipei, so
There are lots of students in Taipei. It's really needed a lot. So a lot of. What's the rest of the sentence going to be? It's really needed a lot of teachers in it. So a lot of teachers are needed.
Taipei is really needed a lot of teachers in it.
A lot of teachers are needed. Oh, come on. What things are there to do in your town in your free time? The wording is a little bit unusual. Usually people will say, what things do people in your town do in their free time? But alright, that's the way I got the question.
Well, from my perspective, people in Taipei always go
Why Taipei's?
to go to the gym or go to internet cafe. Take adults, for example, because they have to make efforts on the work.
Okay, so you can make an effort in something. So they make efforts in their work, but not the work. They have to make efforts in their work, or they have to put in a lot of effort in their work.
They have they may have little time to exercise. So when they have free time, they tend to go to the gym to do the workout and
To work out. To work out. Let's make this a verb.
go jogging to strengthen their bodies. While in terms of the adolescents, because
Okay, this person is using the word in terms of incorrectly. In terms of is followed by the criteria by which you are judging or grouping something. So for example, in terms of exercise, adolescents do blah 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 blah, but not in terms of adolescence.
they want to relieve their pressure. They tend to go to some internet cafe to play the computer games
No article.
and get along with their friends.
I don't think it really means get along. Maybe it means like spend time with their friends, but maybe not get along. Okay, the next question. How has your town changed over the last 20 years? This is again one of those weird questions where they put a time period in there, but hey, that's the way it is here.
Can you repeat the question again, Peter?
Repeat the question again. I think everybody's going to say that now.
Oh, well, from my perspective, to be honest, Taipei changed just
Taipei's again. And these two phrases used together, from my perspective, to be honest, people take it easy with the discourse markers, please.
To be honest, Taipei changed just a little, I think.
So maybe there have only been two changes.
The most obvious part is the public transportation. Like MRT, there are different lines has been constructed.
So different lines have been constructed. We don't need this be verb here. Different lines have been constructed.
Like Tamsui line. Tamsui Beito line is really convenient, which can take everyone from the city center to the countryside.
Okay. You know, when I listen to this, I always wonder, is it really necessary to explain to the examiner how the subway system works? I mean, I think that I understand that people take the subway to go from A to B. Is it really necessary to explain basic concepts like that? I mean, it's not terrible, but is it necessary?
City center to the countryside, and there are some buses lines
Bus lines.
because in the past we don't have we don't have so many different lines.
Okay, now what is going on here? We have bus lines because in the past we didn't have many bus lines. What?
So many different lines that can take us to distinct destinations.
Alright, so there's some decent vocabulary like distinct and destinations. But it's just when he uses them together, it's weird. Because are some destinations indistinct? You can't tell the difference between this destination and that destination.
Nations. However, because of governments spent a lot of money on this infrastructure, so citizens now can make good use of it to go to anywhere they want to go.
This is what I mean. People use transportation to go places. Why does this need explanation? I don't know why this is governments also. Where was that? Government. But hey, vocabulary, not bad. Inappropriate, but not bad. Part 2. Describe a special occasion when you had a really enjoyable meal. You should say what the occasion was, who was at the meal, what you ate, and explain why the meal was so enjoyable.
Okay. Okay, with regard to this question,
there's no question. It's a prompt. There's no question anywhere. And if you say with regard to this, well, is there anything else that you're going to discuss except for the meal? Because if you say with regard to A, that must mean there's a B. But here, there's no B. There's only one topic. I will share with you. Let's see what he's going to share. Share is such a dangerous word to use in part 2.
share with you this special occasion.
Okay, so you're going to tell them about the special occasion.
Was in my good friend Derek's home, and we have a really good feast with some of my college classmates. Well,
notice a lot of intonation. Pronunciation is pretty good.
we have this occasion and party. It's because they want to let me prepare for the day I will go to the military service.
Military and service used together. That's good. But maybe you could just have said, let me prepare for going to the military or just military service. But it's still good. Military service. Good.
I will go to the military service because in Taiwan, we have all the teenagers, we have to perform our military service. And in this
And here he uses perform.
kind of place, we'll lose our freedom and have to imprison in the barrack.
Barrack, this terrific word to use. I don't know why it's the. I think it should just be I'm not sure what this word is. Is it imprison? I couldn't quite make out what he said there. If it's imprison, it's great. But because it's so unclear, it really detracts from any positivity that I can have towards the word. You can't get credit for vocabulary if the examiner has to guess what it is, what you said.
So they hold this party with males to encourage.
I think it's males. Maybe it's meals.
And in this meal, we have some pizza and steak and some.
It's steak, not steak. Steak.
Some sushi to satisfy our appetite, and we also have
All right. It's not bad. Satisfied our appetite. It's not what I would say, but I mean, it's not wrong.
We also drink a lot of alcohol, such as whiskey and beer. That really pleases us.
Whiskey, good, good, good. Is this pleased us or pleased taste?
Really pleases us.
I don't know.
With regards and regarding why this smell is really enjoyable and very pleasing. First, it's because
Pleasing.
very I feel very
I
neat
feels.
because they are willing to spend time spend time accompanying me.
Okay, he got there in the end. They accompanied me, or they spent time accompanying me. Grammar is good. You got the V-I-N-G there.
To face the difficulties I will have tomorrow.
Okay, here, two things. Number one, he said tomorrow. And tomorrow is the day after today. So if you're talking about the past, you can't say tomorrow. It's the next day, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is after today.
Tomorrow. And I feel I'm not lonely. Someone is with me. And besides, I felt that the activity is
It sounds like here he's running out of things to say.
really exciting because we not only just eat food, we also sing a song in Derek's home and chat and discuss. Understood?
There's nothing wrong with when you finish your part two, if you've got nothing else to say, you can tell the examiner, all right, that's the end. That's all I have to say about that. So that's it. There's nothing wrong with saying that. All right, part three, attitudes to food. Let me just edit this. I hate these numbers. What do you think a healthy diet consists of? Let's see what he has to say.
Can you repeat again, teacher?
Repeat again.
Consists of. From my perspective, a healthy food maybe can be composed of.
Composed of. Usually we don't say food is composed of anything. I mean, if you're talking about a cake can have ingredients. But to say that a cake is composed of something, it's not wrong, but people don't usually say that.
Like vegetables and.
Hang on a second. What is he talking about here? Is he talking about a diet? Oh, healthy food. So healthy food consists of vegetables, or healthy food includes vegetables.
Maybe can be composed of like vegetables and with just some sauce without any
What?
meat such as pork or beef, because first vegetables is beneficial to our health.
The beneficial to our health, that's pretty good. But then he says vegetables is.
They have there are some vitamin D in it, and it can prevent us from having like Alzheimer, this kind of sickness.
Not bad. Unfortunately, he mispronounces Alzheimer's. Prevent is also not bad, but it can help prevent Alzheimer's. It can help prevent Alzheimer's. I mean, if it's 100% effective, then you can just say it prevents Alzheimer's. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it does. So that's why help.
Like Alzheimer, this kind of sickness. And besides, the meat and beef, this meat will have bad impact on our blood circulation.
Blood circulation, great. And actually, impact too. It will have bad impact. Just the thing is, impact is a countable noun, so it'll have a bad impact on our blood circulation. But hey, how many people say blood circulation?
Our blood circulation, and take my
But then he says circulation. Again, that kind of distracts from how good it is.
take my grandpa for examples, because when he was
Examples.
Maybe about 30 years old, he drank a lot. He drank a lot of alcohol, and he
I think if you just say he drank a lot, people will understand it's alcohol. You don't need to say it's alcohol. If people say he drank a lot, they're not going to refer to milk. They're going to be referring to alcohol.
eat a lot of meat and without any vegetables.
No
Now,
and.
he's understood. Understood.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Maybe he was cut off. Maybe because the example was getting a little bit too personal. Remember, part 3 is not personal. So it's fine to give your grandpa as an example, but we don't want to know his life story. The question originally was, what do you think a healthy diet consists of? Not what did your grandpa do when he was younger. Okay, which do people in your country prefer? Traditional food or fast food?
From my perspective,
Again, with the perspective.
take, preferred eating, having fast
I don't know why this is in the past tense.
food, because all of them are really busy at
All
their
of them?
work. Sometimes they don't have time to have meal. They have to sacrifice
Meals are countable, so they don't have time to have a meal.
their precious time to keep working. So fast food certainly indeed plays a pivotal role in their daily
Again, pivotal role, really good, but then the pronunciation is roll, not road.
life. In their daily lives, they have to
And then he says daily lives instead of daily lives. There's always a little bit of good and then a little bit of not so good.
save time and maybe keep working and eating in the same time.
Do people do that? They work and eat at the same time? By the way, at the same time. They do? People have lunch breaks, don't they? Alright, here's the next topic, food aid. What can be done to help, or what can be done to prevent poor people in the world from going hungry? Bit of a challenging question.
Well, that's a very challenging question because I'm just a student. Well, from my viewpoint, what we can do is first we can donate what we have.
Okay, the structure is good. So first we can do this, second we could do that. The donate's good, but mispronounced.
To this kind of to the poor people in different countries, because sometimes we teenagers will spend a lot of money.
I don't know why there's a will there. Sometimes teenagers spend a lot of money. Because if you say sometimes, you're talking about what often or usually happens, right? So we need the will there. Just stick to the present tense if you say sometimes.
Money drinking on different drinks and like the premium milk, and it's not an indispensable expense.
Indispensable expense? I don't know if I would say that. I would maybe say essential expense, but hey, the meaning is clear.
So if we can save this money and donate to other people, maybe they can have good meals for it. And besides,
They can use it to buy food. I think is what he's trying to say.
maybe we can get together and tell our government to send more food to other countries.
Just a suggestion for the food. Maybe you could have said food aid.
because I know not only our government but also like other governments, because maybe in like I know in America, there are much food in their
Food is not countable. There is too much food. Why is he singling out America?
countries, in their country. So if they can let the food be distribute evenly to other countries, it will be beneficial.
Grammar here is pretty good, even though there are mistakes. If they can let the food be distributed, it's a good structure. It'll be beneficial. He even uses an adverb there, evenly to other countries. It's pretty good. Should rich countries help poor countries with more than just food?
Teacher, I want to make sure. Can you repeat again? Sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize if you want them to say the question again.
Oh, okay. Well, in my opinion, countries
Countries which are
is really
affluent. Good word, affluent.
it definitely should help the poor country. They can give them not only food but also labor force.
Labor force, pretty good, but mispronounced.
Take for example, in Taiwan,
This blows my mind that he says Taiwan. Sometimes people just add these extra consonants. Sometimes it's a vowel at the end of words. But if the English word and the Chinese word are exactly the same, why is there this intrusion at the end?
Students, maybe I have to say they are not busy. They have a lot of free time and they don't know what to do. Maybe the government can send them to the poor country.
Whoa, it sounds like communism. What is happening here? Forced labor camps?
To help them construct a house.
Okay, let's maybe leave out the. I do like the construct. Construct homes, construct houses.
Or help the people to learn, to instill them some knowledge.
Instill them some knowledge. Okay, so you can instill knowledge in some people, but not install.
Because I know in some poor countries, students there maybe lack of the chance.
Okay, if you're going to use lack as a verb, we don't need this preposition. So students, what did you say? Students or people? Students. Students lack the chance. The only time when you use of is when you use lack as a noun. So for example, there is a lack of. If lack is a verb, we don't need this preposition.
Lack of the chance to be educated. Therefore, in Taiwan, our students always receive a higher level of education.
I don't understand the reason here. Therefore, what? Because what? He's saying in other countries, people are not well educated. Therefore, in Taiwan, students receive a higher level of education. What is the connection? Why is therefore used here? There is no connection between the two, is there? Anyway, higher education or a higher level of education. Good.
Receive a higher level of education. Maybe they can help them, and they can also be the volunteer to help them to
volunteer is good.
Fix the home. Because
again, I don't know why it's the home. Are you talking about a specific home? Fix their home? Fix homes?
In some countries such as India or Philippines, they always face some disasters such as typhoons. So we can help them to be the volunteer to help them fix the house and construction.
Help them. What happened now? Help them fix the house and construction. I can see how fix and homes go together, but how do you fix the construction? It's a little bit unclear, but hey, there's some good vocabulary anyway. Face disasters. Yeah, he gave an example. I don't know why typhoon, but anyway. Help them fix their homes. Maybe you could have left out this construction part. That doesn't make any sense. But better effort than some of the other stuff we've seen. Okay, and then if we look at the speaking band descriptors for fluency and coherence, it's got to be a 6. He spoke at length. There was some loss of coherence, but not that much. And he did use a range of connectives and discourse markers. And actually, let's have a look at those. Okay, so here in the first answer, just this simple word, okay. Or this, whoa. Or this, oh well. These are all discourse markers. And he varied them. And if we look at the connectives, so he said there are not only this kind of transportation, and then he uses so to connect this idea with that. Let's go on here. Okay, because is pretty simple. Then he used in terms of. Here we went back to because again. We got this phrase from my perspective, while about in terms of. Back to because again. Let's go to part 2. Let's see here. With regard to this question, okay, it's not great to use the word question, but fair enough. He uses because to indicate the reason for that. Here he uses because again. So it's not very flexibly used. I mean, we see and here, and again. And he does rely on with regard to quite a bit. Here he uses from my perspective again. But look at the way this answer is structured. Here, remember we talked about this first. Here he uses besides. And then he says, take my grandpa, for example. So everything is tied together very logically. And then if we look at Lex's, it's got to be a 6 also. I mean, he discussed all the topics. There were some inappropriacies, but we could always understand what he said. Let's look at some examples. We got bus lines, we have infrastructure. Construction is not used appropriately, but he did use it. He used the word pedestrian. He used the word enriches. Let's see, what else is there? Clients, I thought it was pretty good. Nothing else there. Strengthen is not bad. Workout is okay, although it wasn't used appropriately. He used adolescence here, although it should have been adolescents. But hey, he tried. Obvious was okay, mispronounced a few times, but he did use that. City center is not bad. Destination. No, destination's maybe not that great. Here we go to part 2. Military service. Yeah, I remember that. That was not bad. Barrack, very good. Appetites, not bad. Satisfied as a verb, not bad. Whiskey, not bad. Some inappropriate words here that Microsoft Word is putting a little red line underneath. Companies, not bad. This maybe not so great. And then we get to part 3. Beneficial, that was good. Composed of, maybe not the right word to use in this situation. Come on, blood circulation, really good. Pivotal role, great stuff. So lots of examples of words that are directly related to the topic and which he uses with some flexibility. Grammar also is 6. We saw quite a number of complex structures, and even though there were mistakes, you could pretty much always understand what he said. Let's have a look at those. Alright, this sentence here, there are not only this, but there are also something else. Some swimming pools, which enriches my life in Taipei, because there's a problem here with the subject-verb agreement, but anyway, still works, we can understand that. In Taipei, it's really needed. So we have a passive structure here. That's good. This is just and. Nothing too special there. Here we see present perfect tense, which can take another relative pronoun. Nothing else there really. It's actually here in part 2 the grammar is a little bit more simple than I remember. But we do see some different tenses here because they are willing, even though I think they were willing. But we see the ing there at least. And, oh, here, spend time accompanying me. He eventually got it right. And then in part 3, can be composed of. Another passive structure. Some basic errors still persist. Prevent us from having. So here he uses the gerund again. Here at least he uses the past tense correctly. Okay, so yeah, a mix of simple and complex structures, and there are a lot of errors, but we can understand what he's saying. Pronunciation also is 6. He did use a range of pronunciation features, especially intonation. His voice rises when it needs to rise, it falls when it needs to fall. His chunking was effective. He pauses between ideas. The rhythm was good. We saw some effective use of sentence stress. He did mispronounce a couple of words, but we could always, well, not always, we could nearly always understand what he said. So pretty much a solid 6.